and welcome to On Sprue Review. My name's Violet Sun, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the 2022 Warhammer Store commemorative miniature Inquisitor Erasmus Cartavolnus. It's a model by Games Workshop for the Warhammer 40,000 system. Now, as I just mentioned, this is from Games Workshop's commemorative range. These are limited edition models. This one, along with a model for Age of Sigmar, are only available from Games Workshop and Warhammer stores in their birthday week. This miniature was picked up for me from the Warhammer World store by the lovely Green Stuff Gav, who some of you may remember from the old Conclave message boards, and from more recently his YouTube channel and website Build Your Imagination. If you've not checked out his content, he's got some really nice unboxing videos and some really good hobby tips, both for like beginners and veteran hobbyists. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description. Right, let's have a little look at the box. It has one of the, in my opinion, less desirable blank background designs, although it has got the kind of stylized winged hammer that Games Workshop have been using recently, kind of faintly in the background, so it's not completely blank. Obviously, nice picture of the studio painted mini. The backside just has some more close-ups of, again, the studio mini and a little link to some painting guide stuff. Other than that, pretty standard. You've seen a few of these, I'm sure. And let's have a little look at what's in the box. To start with, one of these plastic but hopefully recyclable trays. I think I've made my opinion clear on these. Do not like them. The sprue itself is a lot smaller than the size of the box. In fact, if you happen to have a look, it fits exactly inside a blister pack. Don't think that's coincidence, although I'm not sure what's better, the mini coming in a blister pack or coming in one of these and in a cardboard box. I'm not sure which is worse for packaging to product ratio. Just thought it was interesting that it fit. Let's have a little look at the instructions. Nice stapled booklet. Full colour throughout. Erasmus himself's only 9 pieces plus his base, so quite a nice simple model. Relatively few instruction steps because the small parts count. Hey, this model does have both his points cost and full data sheets in several languages in the book. Not going to show you those too closely, but I'm sure you could find them online if you're that interested. It does seem to have some quite cool rules. Let's have a little look at the sprue in more detail. Actually going to start off with part 1 for once, which is the Inquisitor's main body, which encompasses, his back of his torso and the back of his coat. The detail on which is absolutely gorgeous. Despite being one piece, all of this detail in here, in all of the folds of the coat, has been really nicely rendered. There's no sort of stretching for mold draft. The tassels on his little sash here, really nice fine detail. It's got a nice little book, as these Inquisitors do. They like to read. Nice little book of secrets chained up to his belt there. This first piece also has one of his legs built entirely into it, which I guess makes for easier moulding, because it means you've got somewhere for the plastic to flow into to fill out the coat and whatnot. The coat's quite nice and thin, not too thick. I'm not a fan of when fabrics end up massively exaggerated. Even sometimes it's necessary to make it mould right, but I think this is quite a smart way around it. And the front of his torso is equally lavishly detailed, lots of little tiny scroll work, nice little icons, purity seals, the usual trappings of an Inquisitor. The hood is built into this piece, so if you're going to want to do a head swap or something, it does mean you have to very carefully trim away at the collar here to remove this hood piece. Erasmus is wearing power armor, so he has a pack. This kind of, I would say, closer to the Sister of Battle sized small power pack, although he has got this huge inquisitorial icon mounted on top, and these flowing purity seals, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm gonna say they sort of make sense if there's wind blowing from in front of him, blowing them backwards, but they're just a little over the top. I don't know if they just need trimming back a little bit to make them seem a little less ridiculous. And they also seem a little oddly mounted. You know, if these were affixed to hang vertically, then they wouldn't be coming out the size of the seal like this. It's quite dramatic, but it just, I don't know if it quite works for me. On the other side of that huge icon is what I'm going to guess is ex-demon host skull, due to it being sort of human but with horns and inquisitorial icons scored into the bone, just tied onto the Inquisitor icon. This model does have a really nice head sculpt, although the top of his head has been sort of flattened off to allow it to fit with his hood. It'll look fine on this model, but don't think you better use this on another model unless you're going to resculpt the top of his head, which I guess you could put some hair on there or something. It would be a nice way to sort of hide that flatness. It's got a lovely bionic arm, really nicely detailed with spiky bits and cables and all the kind of detailing you come to expect on these kind of parts these days. Nice to see, makes him look a little more battle hardened. Of course, this is one of the big centerpieces of this model. The Inquisitor stabbing this enormous force sword down into a book. Some really nice kind of faux Latin text on the blade. Very, very fine detail, but should come out quite nicely with a bit of maybe washes and dry brushing if you're that way inclined. And of course the book itself, obviously got the 8 points star, so probably a chaotic book, and rather a large chaotic book. It's pretty huge. And the only other parts we've not taken a look at yet are his other arm and leg, same as the ones on the other side of his body. I do really like the very fine filigree and inquisitorial icon on this leg. It's just the kind of very fancy detail that makes him stand out as a man of importance. And of course, it wouldn't be an on-sprue review without me saying what I'm going to do with this model. First of all, I'm going to get rid of this tiny little 32mm base and put him on a big 40mm base. I like putting my characters on bases, and I think it's going to really help this model look a bit more impressive. I haven't decided quite what I'm doing with him. I think there's kind of two options. Either keep him as he is, as a audio malleus, straight-laced Inquisitor. I think I might want to do a slight conversion on him just to maybe swap out his the lower arm holding his sword, and do some reposing, and rebuilding the sword handle, obviously. The other option, or possibly more interesting option, is to make him into a heretical Inquisitor. Cut away the hood, swap out the head. I've got a few ideas on how I could make him someone a little bit more interesting. Obviously, still an Inquisitor, but maybe a few steps away from becoming a renegade Inquisitor. I think this model would look really nice with some nice floating demon hosts hovering around him. Of course, if you have any conversion ideas for this model, I would love to hear them in the comments down below. He's a little awkward to pick up, as you either have to get to a store near you or find someone like I did who was going to the store, who very kindly will pick the model up for you. I kind of wish Workshop wouldn't do that and they would make some of it available on the web store. Hopefully at the end of the year they might do that, but if you really like the look of this model, it might be worth trying to find one for then. I hope this has been useful. If it has, please give the video a like, and if you want to see some more, hit subscribe. Thank you very much, and happy hobbying.